beyond art.
Drawing Rob Pointon part 2. Some even more extreme, more cool perspective. Let's see. So here, last 4 images I will analyze and break down from Rob Pointon. So this kind of very useful, very beneficial to do such analysis and do it for yourself. And of course, like in my explanations and my demonstrations, it's not only, it's not so easy as it seems. It's not like intuitive thing to do. It's been long way, kind of a lot of trial and error, and I have a lot of my own practice of drawing outdoors. So I've been like working with similar cases, and every time it's like you're playing certain game. It's like you're playing chess or something like this. You need to it's kind of like you need to be creative with applying of essential rules, like basic principles. So because this is just all these 4 example, like this 2 first, it's a very basic type of perspective actually, but on practice it became like very complicated, because this is how it works. In the theory we all know everything and we're clever, and in practice it became harder than we expect, right? Hello, Rodrigo. So here maybe I will do again this way to show you breakdown. So here we have this classic 2-point perspective, right? So you see we have this conversion, right? So if you watch my previous tutorials, which I recommend, I have folder perspective basics. It sounds basics, it sounds something like for very beginners, but it's for everyone. Like even after 10 years of being artist and constantly drawing landscapes, I find it's very important to return to basics and refresh my knowledge. Any pencils which still draw, I don't care about how long pencil. So here you see this is going to Z vanishing point, this one going to X vanishing point, and this vertical lines here, they stands for Y axis. So then you will notice this Z, right, is going like this, and here is kind of issue. It's like it's already like show you it's not perfect. There's some kind of like lack of accuracy, because it's like freehand drawing of perspective, so artists always making this kind of mistakes and nobody notice them. So you also need to remember this, like you don't need ruler, you don't need to be like 100% precise, but what you need is like super solid understanding of important principles, of foundations. And the foundation here is that this Z, right, is going to vanishing point on the horizon line, and this horizon line is somewhere about here. So this horizon line, and so this like heel here, right, a heel is going above horizon line, above our line of sight or our eye level or camera level. So, and here when we have this kind of situation, when we don't have vanishing point on the screen, we can just use this horizon line and this line which give us convergence, right? So like I don't know what here, because let's say I don't have paper here, right? So I have only this space of picture plane. So and now I just draw in between and I keep subdividing. So this gives me perspective grid. So now I have convergence without any vanishing points. And I have, like I say, have tutorials about all this, and you will be very good and fluent with this stuff if you watch my tutorials and follow my recommendations. And then I do same, I like mirroring this upper part of grid, I mirroring it downstairs, so kind of recreating same angles. Same I do with this, with the x-axis. I see like again, okay, if I follow till it horizon line, and I see again it's like it's not intersect horizon line, so vanishing point is outside picture plane, right? So again, no problem, I have line of horizon, I have this angle, and again I draw in between. I don't need ruler, I don't need perfect measure, eyeballing is good enough. So, and same, I can do this kind of similar angle and project it downstairs. And it's like not necessary to draw all these lines. I just show you so make it clear here. And y-axis, it's vertical lines here, kind of, right? So, and like in my tutorial, like about how to draw roads in perspective, which I have previously 2 tutorials like explaining, it's also very detailed. I have this because there is a problem with drawing roads. It's like anything is there is some basic principles and there is many approach how you can do it, and you might go too much into details, you can go too much specific, and you can go like extremely technical. And important is to find like more efficient way, more kind of how to say, more useful, practical kind of approach. So and from my experience, like when I draw outdoors or when I create my own illustration or composition, maybe frame for storyboarding or for comic book, I find you don't need to build like road in 3D, you know, like some kind of super like important architectural project. No, you just need to first of all draw it as design, as like 2D design. So let's say like road here, right, is going, let's say, where is color, it's going like this, right? So first of all, I just want to work with the shape of road. For me, it's the most important quality of road. It's a shape, like as a 2D design. So right now I don't think about it as any volume. It's just flat curves, you know, like abstract design. And I want, yeah, maybe I try to make it feel like it's properly, like it feels like it's in a space, right? And then when I find this shape which I like, then I will start to kind of connect in this space perspective, this perspective grid, like Y, Z and X. I will connect with this shape of road. So, and in this second stage, kind of, right, it will be like you need to look on the shape of road like 3D object. So it's some kind of bent box, which also like a box, like box have these surfaces, right, edges. You can also subdivide box and then it will be like a grid on a box, like a perspective grid of a box. So same you can do, it's like you finding this Z axis, so it's like here, like in a box. Here, let's say it's Z, Z, Z. Same here, Z, Z, Z. And you can see like how it's my change follow form of this ribbon of a road. Then same with the other two axes. There is Y axis, like here on a box, right? And there is X axis. In X axis on a ribbon, it's this curvature. So you can find again center line, like with perspective grid when you have two lines and then you find middle line and then you keep subdividing and now you have perspective grid. Same with this ribbon. Now you have like a road with a 3D form. Now it's volumetric, it's not too flat 2D anymore. Так, so let's Rodrigo Almeida. Yeah, Rodrigo, is just like you asking about pencil. It's everything okay. You can draw with pencil, you can draw with marker. This is not important. It's like, it's not like is it might be, let's say, it can be important for you, right? But it cannot be wrong. It's up to you. What you like is your personal preference. You like pencils or you like drawing with charcoal. So I don't see any, I don't even understand why you bother with this. Maybe need more sleep. So here I have this perspective grid, Y axis. Then I say, okay, for this house, and the horizon line. So horizon line about here. Then this is our house H, and I say, okay, this is like this Z axis. So like I shall have this and this. Now I draw in between. So yeah, we are like at the beginning, at our amateurish kind of mindset, we think about all wrong stuff. We think about things which is totally not important. It's just because our mind is not on the right place yet, and the experience and the practice, right, it's also what is due for us. It's putting kind of our mind in the right position. You start to see things as an artist. You start to thinking like a pro, right? So, and like I say again and again, I will even put it here. Read this book, War of Art. So at the beginning I think it's very small, and it will give you really helpful mindset. So what you should focus on, it's to be productive. You need to be productive. It means you need to make more like your own creative work, and you need also more practice, and you need to work on your kind of say productive level, so to be more able to focus longer, to make kind of, you know, longer concentrate and longer practice. So it's like to be able to draw like 10 hours a day, you know. It's like if you're a full-time artist, for example, I think for 10 hours it's okay. You still have time to exercise, eat, walk in the park. So okay, so now I have perspective grid, and I can drop little composition. So in all this distracting thoughts about like, do I use right pencil, or like do I have right books, how many more books or workshops I need to watch, or like am I good enough, like do I have talent or not, maybe like I need better environment, or better materials. All this stuff is just nuances, and often consider it as just like distraction, because you only think what is matter is just like, did you draw or not? What did you do today? Like, did you make something, or you just being procrastinating? Like, and sometimes, you know, we are like how to say, like covering our procrastinations with some more rightful, so, like pretending like we're busy with something when we're just avoiding our work. So here, right, like have this kind of, it's buildings, then I say okay, somewhere here I have these roads, and here again, now I go, it's this moment, I'll show you. You see this, it's kind of create vanishing point on the horizon line about here. So, and we can see this line going to this road. So when you have horizon line, it's might have a lot of different vanishing points. You can add more vanishing points at any moment when you just see, like right now I see, okay, for this one I can put one more vanishing point. And it drops up lines like this. So, and I can also now, when I have again some composition. This one I will more emphasize shape of this road. Yeah, you're welcome. So for a road, something like this. Here's this like pedestrian road. So you see this, like, to find like good shape is very important. Some kind of dynamic. And now if I want, I can like I say, give it more like a ribbon. So for this I will just keep adding this extra lines for a road. So here this one will be like a Z. This one is like some kind of cut which is not related to the road direction. Road direction is like this. Like this one, it's this road direction. Same here as this. And let's say like this vanishing point will be like a X for, let's say, for this road. So it gives me this perpendicular lines. So, and now like you see here on the reference we don't have any car here, right? There is some people walking, can draw people. But I can put also a car here. So now because I have road surface, right? So I can see like also talk about axis. Like a box have this y-axis, right? Same with a ribbon. Have y-axis, which is following curvature of a ribbon, like this, right? So I just need to keep it in mind. So in here we have this kind of road, so this we can see it as a ribbon. So here I show you it's this X, this Z, and this Y. So here Y is like little tilted. It's different from this space because this Y is on a tilted surface of this road. Hello, Joe's loves art. Hello. So now when I know box, it's like it's not necessary to draw it. I just draw it for example to show that this, you know, principle, like a car is within box. Так, окей. so then can just do inking. So this is, like I say, is advanced perspective, because it require some decent amount of practice of some basics, essentials, and I recommend, if you're not confident with your essentials yet, I recommend my videos, like they're here on the channel for free. And for any level, I think they're very good explaining a lot of stuff. Yeah, thank you. You can say cool or So yeah, so now when I have all the structure, making line art is kind of fun. So this idea of working sequentially, kind of with the iterations, step by step, right? It's not about like helping you deal with your inconfidence. It's like, oh, I cannot draw without pencil, so I need pencil to help me draw. No, it's not reason. It's not a point. Point is like when you draw with pencil, you just build structure, you build foundation on which you can make your final work, your final line art or whatever you have. It's just kind of free your resources, so you don't need to think about all nuances simultaneously. You already figure out proportions, you figure out characteristics of space and ratio, composition, all is kind of here. And when you feel you can start to finalize them, you just start to put these final lines, and you have like a lot of, you know, like a short memory or just mind resources to focus on line quality, or just, you know, getting like get this like flow state when you really like in the zone, and it's like pure joy, just sit and draw. So proper organize of your process give you this ability to be like fluent in the flow, kind of, right? So when you need to think, you can totally concentrate on this like thinking part. When you need to be like you know, like crafty, let's say, you can concentrate on the crafty aspect of your work. Okay, don't need to draw too much details, so because I have 3 more pictures to show. Wow, it's okay. Suzanne, hello. Yeah, I have a video about this, like a drawing road, how to draw road in perspective. So like I say, you can start to make perspective for a road, like figuring out like where is vanishing point for a road, and it's just super unproductive. And what I show you is this approach, which I find it's like just most practical, efficient way to do this, to kind of to deal with such scenes, right? Like when you have road, yeah, it's like when you draw road, let's say like this, one vanishing point perspective. Yeah, you can do this like vanishing point, and then you start to draw this road and this, right? But it's kind of too basic, and it's too far. Like this kind of approach, it's too far from this kind of road, you know, when you have something like this, and like it's like, what is there? It's like, what is this kind of vanishing point for this? Like, how many vanishing points I need for this, all this curved stuff, right? So then you will eventually, you need to make some kind of shortcuts, because it's just, you don't have like a week for building out all this lines and vanishing points, and you start to kind of make it loose. And there is question again how to make it as more proper and accurate as possible. So it's like not being just doodling this kind of roads when you not have like just enough time to build all this stuff. Because and it's not only time, it's also its own form, because like when you build everything properly, it start to look different. It's a different kind of work. You will just create some kind of engineering draft, instead of kind of making creative work. Eventually, anyway, like I don't tell you how to draw. You can draw whatever you want and how you want. I'm just sharing my insights. If you can draw better or you have better ideas, it's nice. Так, what's this? How to delete this stuff? Ah, this. Okay. Hello, Anderson. Thank you. Так. I need to So here, let's do also this one. Okay, I can break it down. So here again, okay, I'll just draw directly. You don't need to be like me, just be like artists. I don't know. be a pro. Again, from you can be better than me. So this writer Steven Pressfield, he also have book say like how to be a pro, something like this. Maybe have an end here. So yeah, there's a very important concept of professional creative people with proper work ethic. So, and I consider it, it's like ancient culture, ancient tradition. It's like you go, for example, I was in the Notre Dame temple in Paris in 2013, and it's just amazing. It's incredible, right? And you see like how many knowledge being used to build this stuff, or you watch like a masterpiece of like level of mastery, like how much work, how much like it's very much of knowledge and require a lot of dedication. So you can be part of this culture, you can be part of this tradition if you will treat it with respect, if you will also like contribute, dedicate yourself to it. And this is again like I'm talking about, focus on the right things, right? So I think this is what we should focus on. It's like this kind of like a fire kind of which you want to protect for our generation and future generations, right? Because if you will not teach it, if you will not learn it, if you will not teach it, then it will be lost. And in the future it will be just evaporate. No more art, no more temples, no more architecture, no more style, aesthetic. People just running around with the sticks, screaming each other, because all this is artificial, done by people, and spread and maintained and shared for future generations. So this is why we kind of can kind of consume it, right? It's all around us. All this lifestyle, it's been established by our ancestors. But we can be not only consumers, we also can be contributors. So this is what we should focus on. So here again, we have this y-axis, then we have this z vanishing point on the horizon line, right? Z vanishing point have this perspective grid here. So these buildings, they kind of follow in this perspective y-axis and the z-axis here. And then, like I say, it's just convenient approach when you start as like drawing this road here as a shape. So what kind of shape I see here is kind of this. So here car is kind of blocking view, but I kind of just imagine what kind of shape might be here. I think you understand. Yeah. See you next time. Так. So first, right, this shape, because the only way how I can make this kind of dynamic shape is just by making it, first of all, is a two-dimensional shape, and then second I start to think about 3D quality of it, right? So what kind of axis for it, we should make it as a kind of ribbon, right, in 3D. And also if I want, I can see like, oh, maybe this part of this ribbon have vanishing point on a horizon line, you know. Yeah, you can do so. Let's say here I say, oh, I can say it's not clear on this image because there is like very blur quality on this part, right? But because it's my picture, even when I study somebody work, it's always my own intellectual work, right? So I need to recreate it and do as much clear and conscious as it possible. So, and I say like, okay, this part of road is parallel to ground, so it means it will have vanishing point on the horizon line. And this one, like, okay, I can put this to horizon line here, I can do this one to horizon line here, I can do this, but it's not necessary. After a couple hundred drawings, I just see these vanishing points without drawing them. You know, it's like, and if I will keep this kind of approach, it's just destroying this flow. That's why like I say, first you do shape, because surprise, in like 90% of cases, right, you will see this road in front of you. It will be like some real life road, like you're drawing outdoors, like Rob Pointon here. It's the outdoor painting which he draw kind of creatively exaggerated, right? So you will draw it outside, so you see actual road in front of you, have this kind of curvature, right? So you kind of trying to fit this road in your picture. Or you will draw from photo reference or some kind of 3D, you know. It's not like you even 99%, you know, like I don't know, like 1% case, like when you need to totally create like virtual roads, 3D objects, something. No, it will be some photo reference or real life reference, or from memory when you see some kind of view like this. So like I say, you can look for vanishing points for the stuff if you want, if it's necessary. And then let's say what is important here, it's to find the center line. So, and find / make it, because it's kind of both. because it can be here or it can be little in a different place. You're not only discovering it, you're just creating your own volume for this road, right? Because like I can also make it more here. It's like little difference, but make it big difference in result. So now I have shape, I have form, then I can like put some more details, maybe if I need some clarify some parts. Так. Here some roofs. So roof, you know, this can go vanishing point, this go vanishing point. Roof have their own angle, and there is way how to draw roof properly in perspective. But here is not important. Here is important is just first of all to make it interesting part of composition, because it creates this cool dynamism. Then here will be this building a little higher. So here we have this apartment building. It might have different vanishing points, not only this Z, it can be somewhere there. So if up a line here for building, right? So I will also check what is the perspective on the bottom for a building. So it should follow same vanishing point somewhere there. Так. So can also so actually a lot of detail here I don't see on the reference because of some overlapping and stuff. And this is what I say, it's like when you draw recreating, rebuilding kind of structure, right? So when you're trying to understand how it's built instead of just copy what you see in front of you. Then it's like really makes sense. Then you really learn something when you rebuild it. Like much even better further step is like when you draw one more picture with a similar structure but totally different. Maybe it's like cyberpunk. Here you have like flying cars, and you change buildings. It's like totally different form. Again, this vanishing point confusing. Let's see. Let's turn it into cyberpunk. Так. It can be like more just city view behind here. When you understand it, you have this like creative control. You're free from reference. Like reference, its source of information is materialist, like composition, structure, details. So it's not your boss, it's not your master, kind of, right? You boss of your work, and you can use reference in any way you want. So when I have a perspective, I have shape of road, and I have 3D quality of road, I can put vehicles on this road, because now I have surface, and I can put any box on this surface. Also, like I say, watch my previous tutorial about how to draw road in perspective. There I talking about this. So can put anywhere, any kind of car, bus, truck, SUV, sedan, or motorcycle. So you see here surface, and then I say okay, here I drop this box, and this box can be motorcycle. So maybe here again see like maybe stronger for shortening. Can make even stronger for shortening, something like this. Suzanne asked how long I've been drawing. It's hard to say because it's been time when I've been drawing and been time when I stopped drawing, and I've been drawing different stuff. So I can say if I know what I know now, I will improve much faster. That's why kind of I want to teach and share this kind of my insights to help other beginner artists to improve faster, like, you know, to not because it's some kind of hacks or secrets, just about reminding what is important and what should be your focus. Or sometimes also it's just like we need some kind of community, you know. So it's not only entertainment and some waste of time content around you. So I want to make more helpful kind of content, educational, enlightenment kind of materials. Support beginners and not only beginners, also like anyone who have serious attitude and potential. So if like talking like how many years I draw or how in total, I don't know, it's like I draw almost all life. But just drawing don't make you better. It's not enough. Because you can draw like one picture a day, you know, make a couple scribbles in a week, and you can call it like you have 5-year experience, you know. It's different. So if I am being like more serious earlier, I will be I will be like already much better artist. That's what I want to say. So it's not like my experience give you any useful information in that sense. Yeah, basically it's just like this. You read this Stephen Pressfield, you don't need any other motivation books. I think it's really everything is there. And just proper professional mindset, and you realize kind of how generally lazy you are when you think you're kind of artist, you know. I mean, like, look like usually how people treat art. They think it's some kind of recreation or kind of blessing when you're just waiting for inspiration and you're being kind of possessed by positive energies and stuff like that. Like something need to walk you through creative process, when in reality it's nothing different from any other discipline. Art is a discipline. It's like martial art, like a ballet, like sport, any kind of engineering. It's a very serious think, like, oh, like a comedy. I don't know, like if you want to be like comedian, like a professional one, it's not so simple. It's not like you can make couple jokes sometimes, like being like funniest guy in the company, like on your parties with your friends, and your parents tell like, oh, like you're most funniest person in the world, right? But this is very far from being professional comedian. Same with artists. Like some people, they don't go from this perception like of art as some kind of leisure and hobby. Так. Here's weird buildings. Так. And same was with me. For many years I was treated kind of without proper seriousness. I don't know how to say. Yeah, so let's say if we look at Sportmaster, for example, right? You can, if you don't know, okay, you can look how much is required training, right? How much training required for Sportmaster in like gymnastics, and I don't know, like handball or boxing or something. It's years of very, very hard work. So same should be same kind of approach for our kind of visual art. Так, so here's some kind of flying vehicle. Like I have friend sport how's it called, like gymnastics something, like they have on Olympic Games with ribbon, this kind of gymnastic. You can watch on YouTube, like they take children very early age, and there's like training. Oh, it looks so crazy. Some kind of special forces camp. Just insane. And you can see differences, like children like who have this serious training in their life. They have discipline. They sharp, they like very like composed, you know, not like lazy, busy, like as this children who have nothing to do, just walking around playing computer games. Some kind of this stuff. Can do some road patches. Так. So let's see this one. Can you see anything there? It must be below your mind. Так. So again, like considering it's hand drawn and probably, most likely, because Rob Pointon, he often, well, it's like as I see in internet, like he make his painting outdoors. So here's certain kind of looseness in it. Some might be like not accuracy here, but it's definitely structure of a fish eye with a curved horizon line. So let's say something like this. Anyway, kind of here. So we have horizon line. Then let me change color. Here we have Y vanishing point. Here kind of this. Wait. And Z vanishing point. And like you can see, for this building have its own vanishing point somewhere here. Let's see, like this flash, and this one somewhere here. So I also have tutorial about fisheye perspective, how to draw this kind of curved horizon line situation. And here kind of couple interesting tricks. So this, you see, it's like I will say it's like general perspective grid for this picture, right? Then say I take red color. Then we have like this fence, right? So maybe I need to again. So we have horizon line, and we have this thing, right? This fence. And again, because it's freehand, I can only like guess exactly what he was doing here, but with my approach of drawing perspective grids, all we need is a horizon line and this line here, right? So now we have perspective grid for this like metro and exit or entrance. See? Then we have stairs within this metro. So, and it's like same curvature, but vanishing point below horizon line. So it's kind of, you see, is going here, right? So have something like this. And then again, even this part here have its own vanishing point. It still have same y-axis. So like I was saying, it's here. So it's kind of same perspective like I showed in the previous drawing. So it's the buildings and then downhill, but in a curvilinear fisheye perspective. Because you see what we have. We have these lines parallel to ground, this perspective grid. These lines is a vertical, like a buildings in the previous, right? So again, it's like when you follow this approach, you can convert it in anything. It can become like city, you know? You can convert it like helicopter view. So, and then we have this line which is go in other direction. Like we can see how ratio change, like in the previous drawings with the buildings. This distance here, right, and distance here is different. So this change of ratio show us there is decline. So it's kind of relative kind of relationship between these lines give us this perception of an angle. So it's not parallel, it's another angle. So here, just a color pencil actually I use is Prismacolor PC 906. I love kind of feeling of this Prismacolors. They're one of the best color pencils. Ricardo drawing. How long will be a reasonable amount of time before one can think of themselves as professional artist, in your opinion? I don't know, it's like it's no reasonable answer for this question. I can only say, like, if you consider yourself to become like professional artist, right? So kind of make expectation to be able, like, expect good results after 10 years. So like, imagine yourself like you're working a lot, you're drawing, study hard, and 10 years you feel like you're still no good. Так. Because it's like, if you want to feel good, if you want to feel professional, then kind of, I don't promise you this. This is not why you do art, not for being like some kind of virtuoso. It's like, okay, I will say like how it sounds, right? This kind of sounds like, when I will be proud of myself, or on a state like virtuoso, like when it's became easy and or serious, so people will treat me serious. In every way, this kind of question, it's external, how's it called, external point of view. In the internal point of view will be is like what you want to do, all right? So your question should be, it's like about when I want to make this and how to do this, not about like when I will be like a rock and roll star. Because like this view is like, we have this like amateurish kind of selfish perception. This is what we will need to abandon. We don't need this view. This kind of only disturb you and drag your and blocking your progress. All your real attitude you need is forget this word, what to say. It's like self some kind of like, let's say like if you go to army, right, you give oath, you say I promise I'm going to protect my country, is like, and I promise I can risk my life kind of for kind of protect my country and people, or something like this, right? So you need to think not about yourself, you need to think about community. So think and the community here is not like you drawing for your neighbors. For artists, community is, like I say, it's a tradition. So this tradition is kind of social circle, kind of, right? It's require your dedication, require your self. I forget this word. Just what's cool. How's this word? Okay, that's kind of. Before, like when I draw, I totally cannot speak. I forget words. Even if when I speak my native language, I can just like forget my own name, Now I'm much better, but still sometimes can forget words. Like right now was some very good word I cannot recall. So here again you see this vanishing point, this kind of vanishing point for this building. Because like in the beginning, right, you're outsider. Then you need to dive into this sphere. You need to dive into this culture, and then you will start to understand more how it works. You need to know names, you need to know artists, you need to know history, you need to know terms. Then you will become kind of part of this tradition. You will become more and more like aware of this world, It's like you start to speak on the same language as these art masters speak. I mean, it's like a little metaphorically talking, right? Because knowledge is like language. If you don't know, okay, you cannot read it, you cannot discern, you cannot comprehend this worldview. You just live in another reality, different from professional artist kind of reality. So it's like practice, study, which is also include study culture itself. It's like what is mean to be artist, like what is history with, like who is this people, what they're doing. And this problem, like with amateur people, they just, you just watch some movie about artists or read some, like, I don't know, letters of Van Gogh to Brother Theo or something like this. It's like, oh, now I know art. I know everything, kind of. Yeah. You're still outsider. You have your kind of delusional, superficial, like alien kind of view. You're not inside this world yet, because you don't see it, you don't know what this. And like I say, it's like short speaking kind of. It's tradition. This tradition. You need to learn tradition. You need to learn culture. If you want to be artist, like not only just drawing pictures, but be artist. Make art, right? So here we have car. Maybe I can turn this car into something more fancy. So yeah, and the problem is like also, I mean, it's no problem, just like a fact kind of, right? So people who don't know this, they also not able to understand it. So if you don't want to learn, if you don't treat kind of my words seriously, you will think it's nonsense. It's like, what's this guy talking about? Yeah, of course, because you know better, right? Like, you know already everything. Okay, for sure. Так. Some flying car here. Can make it like 100 years later. We have some more skyscrapers here, some wild cyberpunk. Anyway, I'm going to ink. Yeah, so this like culture element, right? This what you get, and this what should be in art college, art university, right? This is main benefit what you get, because like when you study on yourself, you lack of this. You're much more outsider. Even if you're like study some techniques and stuff, right? Which also kind of, yeah, you can do some your kind of, you have your own worldview and stuff. But there is industry and there is art history, art culture, all this stuff, which is like, I just, my opinion, right? Like I'm strongly kind of like recommending this as like as adult people, like we must to study this. It's not like I'm good at it too. I'm learning, and it's very interesting. You know, read this like let's see about art movements. You can see heritage, right? You can see how artists, how different time influence next time. So it just give you world view. You start to see what really happening in the world if you study history. If you don't know history, okay, you're just like you cannot be artist. You know what I mean? It's like you're not educated for call yourself an artist. You can be like creator or something like that. But artists, yeah, artists must be educated. It should be some kind of intellectual person. And it's like, it's so, I don't know, do you have this feeling or not, but for me it's so kind of sad to watch when, you know, artists with amazing skills and some kind of infantile artworks, when they drawing some tasteless weird crap. Just like, what is that? Like, it's like, how old are you? Like 2-year-old? like what kind of team you working with, and like a lot of animation like this. You just see like, yeah, these people have very solid skills, like they're really amazing as artists, but material they present is kind of, it's just distasteful. I mean, it's just, what is this? It's like they just came out from a cave. And also, I keep talking about this, but I will never stop. I will keep reminding. Also, these people with low education, they prone to be brainwashed. So you're potentially easy target for communists. They will brainwash you, and you like wake up one day as a communist puppet, which is like will be really sad. It's just disgrace of humanity being communist, and we need to do everything to protect ourselves from such horrible fate. Ourselves and our friends. Like you see right now, like many people, like they're this like socialist, Marxist, communist, they have no idea what they're following, and this is so sad. Like blind puppets, and they're like spreading narrative, which is like anti-civilizational, because communists, they're anarchists, they're just this like postmodernism, all this most deranged, crazy stuff you can imagine. It's been also been kind of produced and boosted by communism. Even like this, like radical Islam, all this kind of movements, they start as a part of Communist International. You can Google it. KGB teach all these guys how to destroy civilization. And this might sound crazy. You will surprise how much you don't know if this sounds crazy for you. You live in an interesting world, my friend. You can see kind of similar with Islam and Chinese communists right now, for example. These people, they're completely closed for criticism. They cannot stand discussions. They all these Marxists, communists, Islamists, they all very reactive and rigid. Like if you find some like YouTube streamer from China or TikTok or something, they even cannot say Taiwan because they will be like banned or persecuted. That's what they're afraid to lose some CCP points. And this is what Marxists call bright future for humanity. Live in fear and poverty. When all they run from Islamic countries to Europe, and they tell about how it's great to live in Islam world, totally not have any sense. They're lost their mind somewhere. Cool. Yeah, I don't know art legal. We'll check. There is Hilldale College. Yeah, I think Hilldale College have online courses of history, stuff like this. It's like very good quality. You're all surprised, but all art is political. Every art is political. And yeah, again, so this kind of lack of like education in a human science kind of, right? It's why you cannot see this. And the problem right now, like in the West world, in like USA, Europe, it's so many education system polluted with socialism, Marxism. So they actually will teach you communism. It's kind of crazy. It's like majority of mainstream artists support Islam, and like they're out of their mind, you know. But it's a majority. Like my favorite artists, some of my friends, they support the Islamism. They have no idea what they're doing. Like, how can you support Islamists who will kill you if you draw Muhammad? You're kind of artist, right? These radicals who killing teachers in the schools. It's absolutely weird time we're living. Так, here make a mistake, kind of. Oh no, this is okay. No, I mean, okay, let's say like Hollywood movies, right? They all political. There is no movie which is not political. They all political. They all like working as a propaganda, and it's not like accidental kind of thing. Some kind of like art form itself work as a like kind of propaganda. I don't know, like it's not inherited, it's not naturally happen. They're purposefully pushing narratives. That's why it's kind of all this talk about Disney. It's no accidental. They're pushing narratives, and like if you watch this like Dune, Avatar, like I'm absolutely like I can see there how they install narratives in your subconsciousness. It's all this is Marxist propaganda. So, which is kind of is not destroys like technical quality. Cameron, he is like amazing artist, but he like cut tree on which like how's it called, he cut a branch on which he sit. He destroying his own civilization, his own culture. Capitalism is something what work. Socialism never work. It's always only like make destruction, poverty, prisons. No. It's kind of it's absolutely kind of heinous and hypocritical thing. It's like rule over worse people, as if briefly say, I think is best short description for socialism or communism or Marxism. There's no rule of people, like People Republic of China, right? Yeah, with a mafia in control of a nation. Whereas, like, if you not agree with the center, they will just put you in a camp or you will lost. Так. Anyway, so stuff like this. So we have here shadow. If some art historian listen my channel, invite you for Discord. We can make audio talk during streams. I can draw something and talk about history. Because there I have Discord and there is audio chat, so we can do live streams with a chat room conversations. And then we go for this, will be the last picture for today. So, and this like perfect example for this kind of places which I've been talking about. So here is more about creative representation rather than proper realistic drawing, because it's definitely your car cannot be like that, right? but it works. So it's a little like a metaphor, exaggeration, like a little poetic maybe visualization. Yeah, I like for myself, I like to call it like a poetic. So you're being poet of environment, not just striving for some like simulation representations kind of stuff. No, you want to share this drive, energy, some kind of like melody maybe of this place. So let me 1 minute, I will come back. Now I can watch this.
Madness. This is Jane Bond art.
So here's horizon line, something like this. Then here we have vanishing point, and here you see this interesting thing that like this building go to this vanishing point, some here, right? But this one, they have their own vanishing point. So I just ignore this building for this moment. I'm more looking for a general perspective grid. So you see this perspective grid kind of work here. I can draw more for sky. Then y-axis. Kind of this for vertical lines. Kind of this. So thing here, main feature here is that it's a very flexible approach, and that's why it's advanced level, because it's not guide for this kind of drawing. It's not following perspective rules exactly. It's abusing perspective rules. He just take these perspective principles and doing something like this with them, and it's still looking realistic, kind of. No, and even like surrealistic, right? So it's like distorted space. Так. So, and this perspective grid is like, is more just for very subtle how to say, like very subtle approximation kind of what is here. It's just like I need to show you some kind of perspective, so it will be somehow visible what is happening here. Because otherwise it will be like total mess. So we have this kind of thing here. Then when we have space, right, because it's space here right now, we have horizon line, we have these three axes, and now I can put these main elements, and you can see how much here is about design, like abstract composition. Like we have this curve here, like a groovy curve, and then here some buildings, which again is like, for me, I don't need to recreate this drawing exactly, right? I can draw my own stuff, just base on this artwork very close. So I free myself from this burden, kind of unnecessary burden in my case. So I can make this vanishing point for this building here. Maybe it's even higher here like this. So then, following this sequence I demonstrated before, I need to draw shape of a road. So, and instead of trying to be precise with perspective of a road from beginning in this kind of picture, you better do some practice of drawing ribbons in perspective. You know, like maybe can do like this. Just drop 2 lines. Trying to turn it into a ribbon. This kind of like a better example. I'll show you. Yeah, can do something like this. Just, I think, very good exercise. Just drop 2 random curves and then try to convert it into 3D to 3D ribbon. So, and this kind of exercise will just train your vision, and you will be just get this kind of feeling of properly drawn road surface. Welcome to PES. Thank you. And here this road like overlapped somewhere, so I need to see it through and just make sure it's kind of like look like a, you know, like interesting shape for this road. Okay, anyway, something like this. So we have this road. Then we have another like pedestrian road here. So it's like you see like very groovy. It's like first of all it's very much 2-dimensional abstract. It's just like phew. So road go here, and then here I think like okay, maybe it's kind of this movement. So again, like important right now, I'm not building it in perspective. It's just like I forget this in perspective. I'm more like designing shapes. Also here is a tree. And there is like a road going here. Also tree. So tree here. Now I can put more perspective in this, like kind of connect this perspective of general space with the volume of surface in this road surface and the stairs here. So let's see. We have this z-axis here. So, and here is like we have this platform for stairs here, staircase, and it's kind of changing angle. So if here it's following this vanishing point, here it's following this vanishing point. So for a reason, I don't know why, he just changing, but it's fine. You can just make transition like this, from this point to this, you just make transition. And this also what I say is how you can twist rules. It's like it looks like it have one vanishing point when actually in reality they're very far from each other. And the railings here have y-axis for railings. Here he interestingly make this railing disappear. So look, and it is disappear. Where is it? Disappear. Same like this one. Here is go, 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 and disappear. I can understand because he want to show figure here instead of a railing. Так. See. What's this? And now also let's do clear with the road surface. Like I showed before, we have this like a ribbon. Now you need to find middle line and perpendicular lines. So here we have this like perpendicular lines, maybe like this. So, and then when we have these lines, you can put box here. So this will be like box for this car. Then here we have box for this car. And you can make one more car here. Here, так. So here also kind of some bushes here, so it's kind of also breaking these fence lines. Here three. Stairs. I don't want to kind of talk much about stairs here. How to draw stairs, I have like about 10 tutorials. Really recommend to watch them. There's like many different kind of stairs, different kind of perspective, like 5-point perspective. There's like round stairs, staircases from different angles. It's very beneficial to practice sometimes and draw stairs, at least as a exercise to improve your 3D skills, like general 3D drawing skills. So you will able kind of, you know, it's improving your volume sense, kind of. You can faster calculate volume, see complex forms. You gain this skill, this ability through experience of drawing different complex forms. And the stairs is kind of this kind of complex 3D form, which is also very universal, because so many objects and environments you actually draw in the same way as you draw stairs, you know. this kind of like rhythm there. So make sure you check my previous tutorials. I have many very good ones for beginners or just like very like in depth and in details, like nowhere else, only here on this channel. I just don't like to repeat same stuff again and again, so some explanations I say already keep in these videos, so you can open them and watch all this like perspective basics and stuff. Also there like how to draw vehicles, how to draw motorcycles. And also video with my cat. Meow meow. you work fast when you draw fast after you draw a lot. So let's say when I draw this kind of perspective 300 times, no, so it's something, it's became something I already drew before. So it's like, no, it's like some kind of cartoony face, you know, like you can draw same face many times, right? So it became easier for you each time to recreate it, right? And then it became same easy to draw same face with little different angle, with a little different emotion, because in general it's the same face, right? Same with perspective. There is like general principles, general cases, some kind of scenario with a perspective, and they just repeating again and again, like drawing people, same. There is a limited amount of poses, limited amount of angles, limited amount of elements, you know, only 2 hand, only 2 leg, and you just need to draw them all. You draw them all, like all possible angles, all possible like scenarios and stuff, right? And of course you cannot do it in 1 week. You cannot do it in one kind of attempt, right? You will burn out if you will try kind of like, okay, I just make a plan and I study everything. No, you cannot do this. So you need to be just realize first of all it takes years, and then when you draw all this and you redraw all this and you redraw it 100 times, 200 times, 300 times, now like if you watch Kim Jong-gi, right, everything he draw is redrawing of something he drew before. That's why he's so fluent, that's why he's so fast, because it's no magic here. It's kind of basic principles. So at first, when you just first approaching it, right, it's very intimidating, you're very stiff, very nervous. The second time it's less intimidating, but you're still not fluent. After like 100 times you're became fluent, you became confident. After 1,000 times you stop thinking about it. It's like your hands do it yourself. You just make some adjustment in the process, you know. It's like you're kind of co-pilot. You tell your hand like, oh, I want little this different. So in the artist kind of learning curve, right, there is this kind of levels, like learning curve of any subject. Let's say like first stage is like when you learn a general essential stuff. It's like how to draw people look like people, for example, right? Because like if I want to draw portrait, okay, at least I expect it will look like a human being, right? And like we all have this struggle at beginning, like at least to make it look like a human face, whereas like it's symmetrical enough, like you can say what is the nose, you can say it's the eyes, and it's no cross-eyed, you know, it's have some, it just need to look realistic enough, right? So it's like this first level, And this is essentials. This is what I'm talking about. It's like you need to more practice with that until it will be like, you draw it so many times in so many way that it became your nature. Now it's in the subconsciousness. Now it's your automatic stage. Now you do it without thinking about it. And what happens when you get this stage? You naturally move into next level. What is next level? Next level, you start to think about nuances. Now you start to think about difference. So it's like, okay, I know how to draw human being, and now all I concern about, my focus is about like how to draw particular person, how he's different from all other person, what make him different, what kind of state of mind he have, I want to draw like portrait of my wife when she like praying for a guy, like, and I want to show it in my portrait, so you look there and you kind of can hear sound of it, This is like next level approach. It's next level way of looking at it, Before and it's impossible if you don't have solid essentials. It's impossible. You're too busy with rules. You're too busy like, how to draw stuff properly, You're like, you're not sure what is the proportion of a finger, or like how many finger on the hand, or joints, or like stuff like this. It's like all this lack of knowledge, lack of essential distract you from real creativity, from really essential subjects, a real team. Like, what is your team? Why are you drawing? Why you want to draw this portrait? Just to show you can draw? Is this it's a mature level? You're still learning. If you're showing off your skill, okay, you're amateur. Serious level, like it begins from this next level when you solid foundations, and now you work on the effect, right? Like how to make people experience certain flavors, certain like very subtle nuances. You want to deliver them through your art. But then eventually you realize, this is also, it's not like, you cannot call it like art by definition. It's still kind of mean. It's still like a tool for a next level. And in this next level, what is real art, right? This real art is when you are pushing narratives, when you're kind of became like you're like shaping reality. Because like if you know how it works, if you like looks again, like I say, a history of art and motivation behind art in our history, you will see it's like guys literally creating a reality, and our reality around us, it's a result of their work. All this is like, it's like, it sounds kind of how to say, exaggerated, right? But why is not exaggerated when we're talking about design, interior design? It's like you say like, I want to make an interior design, so it's like I will be like feel calm, or I want to feel happy, or it's like office design. Okay, so it's must to kind of stimulate people for being more in a more productive state of mind, right? Like these colors, textures, materials of interior design, all this makes sense, all this purposefully. And then you look around yourself and it's like, wait a second, everything around me is made up. everything. Your park is not nature. Your park is also exterior design, city planning, roads, train stations, cars, pedestrian walks, shopping malls. Everything is made up structures by people, which is based on a people view of world, which they get from books, movies, songs, poetry. And then it's like open your mouth, open your eyes. It's like, wait a second. So I might be here too, you know. It's like, and it should be kind of obvious. It's a sign of like horrible lack of education in our society. It's not obvious, you know. It sounds like some kind of conspirology. I don't know. It's like when I talk with the teachers, and I tell, you know, like, you're working with the future. Like I was teacher in Hong Kong, right? I can see it. Like I say, like, bro, I say, like, you know, right now you teach these children, right? For them, it's like super important time. They might remember like every moment of a conversation with you. You might say something like you don't consider important, some remark, you know, and this remark, just one small remark, might be life-changing for these children. This is how this childhood works, right? So you working with children, you are literally programming future. You generating future generation yourself. You are involved in this process. You get like super responsibility or super trust. People trust you, their children, you know. And it's like, look at me, it's like, oh, I never think about this. Like, what the hell are you doing there? This is what it means to be teacher, kind of, right? You should to be aware of this stuff. It's like if you're a surgeon and you're not aware, it's like human life in your hands, right? So, and you cannot be here without realizing this stage. You cannot be here without working on this stage. So this is what is real improvement, real progress for artists. Not just about like, oh, how to draw like pretty pictures. It's amateur stuff. Or how to draw straight lines, you know. It's kind of like on a level like, no, I mean, understand, yeah, we're going through this stage, but eventually you meet some person who will tell you what I tell you right now. It might be your teacher or your parents or some weird guy in the park who will say like a Forrest Gump you kind of, you know, I want to tell you something, you know. Eventually you will meet some kind of person like this who is like really into subject, and he will share with you this, and this is called like legacy, kind of, right? Like a tradition. This is what we need to share. We need to protect this and spread.
What do you do?
I say what I mean, and I do what I say.
Okay, anyway, kind of this. So they will finish this full picture. So also yesterday was these pictures from Rob Pointon. Recommend to watch his work. Maybe he have a book, but he definitely have his Facebook page. Can follow him and watch my previous tutorials about how to draw road if you're interested, like how to draw this like very groovy road compositions. Yeah, also write your requests. I collect all requests. I maybe don't do them immediately, but I will do in the future. I have this all requests you want me make tutorials. Like keeping it in slowly, kind of preparing for them, because like you know I like of course to make some really insightful, like original material, something like you cannot easily find. I don't want just repeat some basic stuff. Yeah, so thank you for watching, thank you everybody for support, for my channel members, thank you for patrons. See you next tutorial.